Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I want to show you how to design a wind turbine blade using OnShape. So here I've started a new OnShape document. Let's make sure we're using millimeters for units. So I'm going to go to workspace units. Right now it says millimeters. So if it says inches here, change it to millimeters. That way life is good. All right, what we are going to do is we're going to do a sketch, and then we're going to add a second plane, and then we're going to do a second sketch, and then we're going to do a loft. We also need to do an extrusion to make a hole, and we need to make sure that the top of the extrusion is chamfered such that it will 3D print cleanly without supports. So let's get started. We're going to hit sketch, and then we're going to choose the top plane, and then I'm going to press the letter N for normal to plane. And all right, I press the letter N to get normal to the plane, and we're going to start at the origin. I kind of want the leading edge of my foil to start there, so I'm going to kind of move this over. So we are going to use the spline tool. That's going to be the easiest one for us to make our shape. So I'm just going to throw a few dots around here like this, and just think about the shape I want to create. So maybe I want to do something like that. One of the things we want to make sure of is that our measured distance for this doesn't exceed about 60 millimeters. So I'm going to draw this, and right now it says 140, so I'm going to change that to 60, and it's going to shrink the shape. Okay, so that's going to be my first airfoil. Would this be a great design for a wind turbine? No, but you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to save that. Next thing we're going to do is switch to our isometric view. And all right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this top plane, and we're going to add a work plane above it. So we want to move this up, and right here you can see we can specify distance. The maximum height I want to use for this is 120 millimeters. This is going to make it nice for 3D printing. That way I can print it on any machine that I want. Next thing we're going to do is press sketch and click that new plane we just added. I'm going to hit N for normal to plane. There it goes. Now, what I want to think about is right here. This is my bottom part, and you have to decide if you want the top to be smaller or larger. If you want, you can do interim planes where you have like something happening in the middle, like it might get bigger and then shrink down. That's the design choice for you to make, but for this, I'm going to make this a little smaller. I'm going to put it off over here. So we're using the spline tool again, and I'm just going to make a top shape. Another thing I need to pay attention to is I will need to keep enough space here such that when I add the hole, that I have room for everything. So let's see what that's going to look like. So again, I would want to check dimensions. This is getting wider than 60 millimeters, and that's okay for this example. So let's look at the next thing we're going to do is go to isometric, and now we're going to loft. Click this one, and you choose the bottom profile and then the top profile, and it will connect those two. Okay, then we just hit check. And now we can just kind of look around, and you can see that it has kind of a twist at the top, and it's kind of leaning out. Now we're going to look at the bottom part of this, and I'm going to extrude a hole. Okay, I don't have the exact dimensions yet. I'll get that to you. But we're going to click on this face and put our sketch there. And we're going to do a perfect circle. And we want that to be probably right there. And know that it's going to be bigger than that. I'm going to make it 9 and see if that works. And then hit check. And now we're going to extrude that, removing. And you can either go all the way through, or you can go to, let's say 80, no less than 80. That's going to give us a depth that we like. So now what I want to do that I've made that extrusion is I want to check to see if it cut through anywhere, and I don't see that it cut through. If you have a hole in the side of your foil, you know it didn't fit. Another thing that we're going to run into is you can see the top of that is perfectly flat, And we need that not to be that way. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to this view cube and we're going to start a section view. And I'm going to choose this plane and it's going to let us cut into there, and that is perfect because what I need to see is the top of the circle. Okay. And what we're going to do is choose chamfer, and it needs to be less than 5 millimeters because my diameter is 9, and if I use 5 it's going to overlap and it doesn't like that. So let's put in 4 and see if that works. I'm going to choose this top circle, and you can see right there that is the center point. So we want a little tiny circle right here. What this is doing is it's slanting the top to a point at a 45-degree angle, and doing that we can print this without supports. My intent is to print these with a low quality, high speed print. And I also want it to print without supports. So that's why we're doing this. All right, so once we get that done, we can turn off the section view, and if you zoom out and rotate this part, you'll see that the top of that hole is now chamfered, and that's going to print real nice. So we're going to go back to our isometric view, and that is an example of an airfoil you might design for a wind turbine. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.